Technology. I'm Emily Chang in San Francisco. Peter Thiel-backed banking startup N26 announced Thursday it's raised $170 million in new funding, valuing the 6-year-old fintech company at $3.5 billion. The new funds make the company one of Europe's most highly valued fintech firms and, according to N26, the highest valued German startup to date. N26 has made waves in Europe with its mobile banking app and just launched in the U.S. last week. Joining us from New York to discuss, Maximilian Tayenthal. Maximilian, thank you so much for joining us. So tell us how it works. Big banks aren't perfect, but why should I give you my money?
Well, when we entered that space, we believed, and I still disbelieve today, that financial services is the area most ready for disruption. I think for many years, the banks have failed actually to provide a great user experience, and they still charge unfair fees. And I think like a growing number of customers, like be it 40, 50, 60%, are not using the bank branches anymore. And traditional banks are still investing heavily in the branch networks, even though they cannot differentiate themselves anymore from the competition by these networks. So we actually came to the market to provide a great product, like for a young audience that likes to do things on their smartphone, because we realized there's just no great digital user experience for people that like to do things on their smartphones.
So big banks, if they have one thing, it is scale and infrastructure. How do you handle things like risk, fraud, security at your scale?
Yeah, I think we have been around already like for 6 years in Europe. We have a bank license in Europe, and we're providing banking services at a European scale. If you look at the bank market in Europe and basically all around the world, it's a very fragmented industry in a way that you have French banks for French customers, German banks for German customers, and so on. And we had the vision to build the first like pan-European bank. So we're the only ones that, based on one IT platform and one bank license, onboard customers all over Europe. We now realized that the financial needs across the whole Western world are very much alike, and the product is working in Germany, is also working in France, and we are sure that that product is also going to work in the US. So for the last years, we have actually built all the systems that are required to do banking business. We have like risk management, we have built up compliance, we have built up reporting to the regulator and everything else, and we are now adapting all these things and rebuilding all these things for the US market. Plus, we are working together with a regulated player. We're working together with Axos Bank, based in San Diego.
Now, you're growing fast. You've got over 1,000 employees, and yet you've said you won't be profitable in maybe even 5 years. What's the vision?
For us, it's not about like distributing dividends to our investors. Like, we are profitable on a per customer basis, but every euro, every US dollar we earn, we're actually reinvesting. We are reinvesting that, like, 1, in scaling up our team, 2, in growth, and 3, in onboarding, like in expanding our product. So while we could be profitable like much quicker, for us we have a very big vision. We want to build the first global financial institution, and that vision needs a lot of money. Plus, we have investors that have very deep pockets and that share our big vision, and they're willing and able to back N26 for many years to come.
Speaking of your deep-pocketed investors, one of them is Peter Thiel, and whenever any company takes money from Peter Thiel, they become the Thiel-backed startup. He's known for his controversial comments. He just made some recently calling Google treasonous, openly asking whether they have been infiltrated by foreign spies. Of course, his support for President Trump has been deeply unpopular here in Silicon Valley, which is left-leaning. You know, what's your sort of reaction to the Thiel controversy and having that attached to you?
Yeah, we are actually not commenting like on the political positions of like our investors, but what we can say, like on an investor side, like he and his team have been a great support for many years. I think he has a very good vision about scaling, like he was the founder of PayPal, as you know. He has a great vision of about how to scale like a financial service company globally, and he also believes very much in founder-driven companies. Like for us, he has been a great support.
So talk about your plans to expand. You're in the U.S. now. I understand South America is next, and maybe even Asia.
Yeah. As I said before, we wanted to build a pan-European bank. We realized the financial needs across the whole Western world are very much alike. Today, we want to build a global retail bank. I think if you think about it in terms of building a global retail bank, you don't have to go to the 194 countries on this planet, but if you capture European Union, plus the US, plus perhaps like 7 or 8 other markets, you captured about 80% of the worldwide banking revenue potential. So we were just launched in the US with our product. We are going to Brazil as the next market, and then there's some other markets to follow, mainly in Asia and other, like in South and North America.
All right, N26 co-founder Maximilian Tayenthal, thank you so much
Thank you for having me.